welcome to today's webinar on how to build a career in AI in 2023. Today, artificial intelligence is one of the fastest growing fields, and it offers endless possibilities to those who are passionate about technology and innovation. Whether you're just starting out or looking for a career switch, this webinar is for you. Our goal today is to provide you with practical insights, advice, and guidance to help you build a successful career in AI. And I'm thrilled to introduce our expert speaker, Prashant. Welcome, Prashant.
Hello. Thank you. Thank you so much.
So, Prashant, if you can give a quick introduction of yours.
Definitely. Hello, everyone. My name is Prashant Kannadagudi. I am a technical trainer, freelancer, specifically into the field of data science, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and deep learning. I'm a trainer since last 14 years. I train people in the fields of the same, machine learning, deep learning, basically into the field of data science. And the core technologies or the tools associated with the same fields. So basically, we train starting from very basic level, that is Python, to up to the advanced levels such as the data engineering, as well as the economic analysis, the business analysis, etc. So I also have been into the corporate world. I was a senior R&D engineer in Aurora for 6 years, where I was working closely with respect to the natural language processing, speech recognition, and my area of interest is speech recognition. Thank you.
Perfect. So wonderful. So we are excited for the wonderful insights we are going to get in this webinar. So without a further ado, I'll hand over to you, Prashant.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So welcome, everyone. The topic is how to build a career in AI, specifically in 2023. This artificial intelligence stands for, AI stands for artificial intelligence. Basically, it refers to the development of computer systems which can perform tasks that typically require human intelligence. Now, the examples for such human intelligence could be the perception and reasoning, learning, and by default decision making, right? So AI systems use something like various algorithms, computer algorithms, plus they also use statistical models. How they are capable of acquiring something which is close to human intelligence is just because of two things. One is statistical model, right? The mathematics which runs on the background, plus computer systems need algorithms to implement the same. Right. Now, because of these two, the computer systems will be able to learn the patterns, and then they will apply whatever they have learned so far on the new data set, and they will learn and they will make some predictions out of it to perform the tasks. Basically, basic task is to make some decisions at the right time on the right data set. Now, currently, what AI is capable? What are the capabilities of AI? Right. So, if we look at that initially, then this content, whatever we're going to discuss today, will be beneficial to all. So, let me discuss about the applications or what AI is capable. That's what we are going to discuss today, basically. So, first thing is image and speech recognition. AI can be used to recognize and classify images, speech, maybe to identify who is there in the photo, the face, and after identifying a face in the photo, right? It should be able to it should be giving a name. It should be able to give a name to that. All right. So that's the first thing. And coming to the speech recognition, something like transcribing the spoken words into text. So that's called as voice to text or the vice versa, right? So that's one example. And Second major example could be the NLP, which is natural language processing. Here, the artificial intelligence can be used to analyze and understand human language, including the ability to translate between the languages. Whenever I have one language and I want it to be converted into another language, NLP is. Then generating the text, right? That's another widely used example. And somebody asks a question and AI answers that, right? So answering the questions. Then another major field will be autonomous vehicles, right? AI can be used to develop self-driving cars. A lot of research is going on. Because of this, these vehicles can navigate roads, make the decisions based on the real data that's acquired from sensors and cameras. All right. Another example, another achievement of AI right now is in the field of healthcare. Because of AI, we can develop the new diagnostic tools, treatments, maybe the ability to detect the diseases, and it's early detection of diseases, right? So that the depending upon the earlier detection, the treatment plan can be made, and that will help. Okay, and we have the robotics, and in robotics, AI can be used to develop. They can make robots to be capable of handling very complex tasks, right? So mostly in the field of, let's say, take the previous one, healthcare, it can do the surgeries, and in the manufacturing or exploration where we cannot go, we can send robots. All right, and coming to the next field, I can give example is gaming, and one more is predictive analysis, whether a machine is going to enter into the failure state after how much time we have, what are the steps we can take, etc. So you see, these are few examples of many applications of AI. So as the fields continues to advance, we can expect to see many more exciting applications and breakthroughs across a wide range of fields. So we can see here in the contents, right? Most of the topics which I have been discussing so far will be coming. And our motto here is to look at what are the various products that exist in the market today, and what are the tools that are required to be studied, to be known, if you want to be an expert in the respective fields. So we can consider the AI right now in 2023, this AI can be considered to be built up by using 6 or 7 pillars, right? So in the sense, we can divide that into 6 or 7 subcategories. I call it as pillar. It could be NLP and computer vision. That's going to come in the upcoming slide. We have deep learning, we have reinforcement learning, there is GAN, autonomous systems, XAI, edge, etc. So we'll be discussing them in detail in the upcoming slide. So we'll start from the very first technology where AI is being used. It's the NLP, the natural language processing. So as we already have discussed, NLP is going to help I have given an example of a robot, but basically it's we are trying to teach the machine to interpret and analyze the human language. So AI, NLP can be applied in AI in the terms of text or speech, right? There are various types of definitions given in various resources. You can see that we can club speech as well as text altogether, though the speech recognition is a different entity. Because of this NLP, we have chatbots, we have virtual assistants, and other conversational systems that are that exist right now. So one such example is ChatGPT, which is everybody's talking about ChatGPT in the last 2 months or something. So I'm also going to give you some insights about the ChatGPT towards the end of this particular part of NLP as an example. But before that, it is necessary that we look at various NLP technologies or various NLP products that exist in market, right? So if you want to take up NLP field inside AI, then we have the following tools, which are something like must to know. So one such tool is Google Cloud NLP API. So it's definitely built by Google, and it has the capabilities to do the sentiment analysis, entity, and the syntax analysis. Basically, this is text part only. For the time being, let's keep the speech part out of this NLP. All right. And this particular tool will help in content categorization as well as the topic modeling, right? So there is a built-in feature which you can. So this is the first one which I suggest if you look for AI, if you want to enter into the AI field and you want to consider NLP as your field, because we have so many pillars coming up. It's very hard to enter into or become an all-round to cover up everything. It's not possible because those technologies are so wide. So we can. It's suggested to take one of them and build you a career path. That's the first point which I would like to highlight. All right. So the second technology is Microsoft Azure Text Analysis. So it's a Microsoft product. Again, based on it's a cloud platform, right? Using this, we can do the sentiment analysis, right? Key phrase extraction. When somebody is speaking, what is the key text, key element that is present over there? You can try to extract that. Language identification, etc., are the built-in tools that are available over here. Okay, so there are some pre-trained models available. You can use them for customization according to your data. Then the third one, which I would like to highlight, is Amazon Comprehend. So built by the Amazon, it's present in the AWS. AWS, you can use it, right, using the services of AWS. And again, this can so it's developed by a different vendor. That's all, right? Almost every feature that is offered by a tech giant will remain same. So you can still do the sentiment analysis, entity identification, language detection, etc. In addition to that, Amazon S3, Amazon Redshift, etc., which are the widely used tools, can be integrated with this. Then the next important tool that one needs to know under the hood of NLP is IBM Watson Language Translator. Again, this is a cloud-based text translator, which actually supports a lot of languages. Then, so those are something like a paid version. So the enterprise versions of NLP applications will use any one of those. What if you are a researcher and you don't want to invest a lot of money for that? Right? In such cases, we have the open source libraries that are available. One such library is called as the Hugging Face. It's a open source library, as I already mentioned, which supports us with a lot of pre-trained models, specifically applicable for the text categorization. Question and answering machines can be built by using them, plus the language translation. Right. So if you are building something and you don't want to go with the paid versions, you want to go with the open source, right? This is the one option. The second option is a Spacey, right? It also is a very well-known text processing library that is there as a standard NLP package. Now we can use this with the other Pythonic libraries as well. And the support extends to the parts of speech tagging, NERs, that is a named entity recognition, tokenization, etc., can be done as well. And the other NLP library, which I would like to highlight, is NLTK. NLTK stands for Natural Language Toolkit. This is also an open source library. So we can do the tokenization, stemming, lemmatization, etc., are the standard as a standard pre-processing steps under this. All right. So now I'll come to the very well-known example, which everybody is talking about. It's a chat GPT, right? It's actually, I can, if you have used this already, I'm sure you have used it at least once. You can enter a question, machine tries to understand the question, and it actually generates the text in such a way that humans can read and understand. Right. So how this is going to happen? This is going to happen because internally it is using AI. So AI is used to recognize the question that is framed first, and from the input that user provides, it's a human input. ChatGPT internally has a natural language unit that is called as NL. It tries to understand what is the user's input, right? So in order to understand the input, right, which is in the form of text, we need some of the technical background. Anyway, I'm not going to discuss that much depth in this session because of the time constraint. I'll just use the words so that if you are interested, you can go and explore further. So in order to understand the text input, in order to make the machine to understand the information that is present in the text, we need word embeddings. That's one term. Plus, there are some attention methods, right? They are very vital in case of NLP. Using those, you can try to understand what is the information. Something like if you are looking at the sentiment analysis, you will be able to identify, you will be able to teach the machine how to identify whether the person is happy or sad. Okay, so ChatGPT does something like that. That's the first thing. And the second part is called as a transformer. So this is the next term which I'm going to bring here, but I will not be able to discuss in very much detail about that. Transformers, it's a form in which you can you can handle your data. Data will be converted into numbers through the transformers, and you use a neural network, right? Neural network is a machine model which tries to understand the mathematics behind that, or how to handle the numbers, like our brain does. Smallest brain cell is a neuron, so we call neuron present inside a neural network. So we try to teach the machine how our brain learns. Similarly, we want machine also to. That's what is a neural network. All right. And in addition to that, when I have a text written for say 100 words, only when you read and understand all the 100 words, you will be able to capture the hidden meaning of that sentence. So you need to remember what was the meaning of the first word until the last word. Then only you are able to understand the exact meaning of the question. So you see that ChatGPT is able to do that. So you enter 10-line question, it is able to relate that. So that's going to happen with a long range relationship of the text that is present in the text. So ChatGPT basically does the same thing. And it actually tries to give an answer. To give the answer, it uses a beam search method and also what's called as a nuclear sample. So these are the technical terms that one needs to understand the background, how the ChatGPT works. And there is a particular feature called as a contextual understanding. So here, after understanding, it generates the language based on the past conversation as well. In the sense, you already asked 5 questions. 6th question, while you make another question in terms of a conversation with the ChatGPT, you can actually refer to the second question. You can say that in the second question you told like this. Can you elaborate? It will do that. So that's a contextual elaborating. So for that, in the neural network, there is an advanced term that's actually called as recurrent neural networks that actually comes under the deep learning part of the whole machine learning stack. And right, it uses that over here to relate the very old questions to the current question. Coming to the next capabilities of the ChatGPT, it actually can retain the context in a multi-run disclosure. That's what I was preparing in the previous point. And in order to memorize the very old questions under the same conversation, you need to have some extra memory. So we call it as memory networks present. Okay, so there will be memory network running on the pattern just to keep memorizing the previous context of the same conversation. Then there is a information retrieval. That's also a capability of this, right? It can actually get you the answers by referring to some other internet resources or some other repositories, etc. All right. At the end, you will always see there is a summarization coming into the picture. So that's also a very good capability of the Chat GPT. Now, what's the background? What's the back end? What all are the various technologies one has to know if you want to build a Chat GPT like product? So definitely ML comes into picture. ML is you are trying to teach the machine how to learn something. Mostly a simple target like regression or classification. It starts with that, and it goes all the way till anomaly detection or unsupervised learning techniques like clustering, reinforcement learning, etc. are the most advanced topics under machine learning. NLP, definitely. Then neural networks, it's an end of machine learning where the deep learning begins. And attention mechanism, I already mentioned that there is a term called attention mechanism. And IR methods, that's information retrieval methods, right? So basically, in addition to that, there is a requirement of optimization, because the result that you obtain needs to be pretty much optimized. If you don't have that, then it's of no use, because right, optimum results are pretty much expected at the end. So Chat GPT is going to perform all these tasks on the back end. So that was an introduction. So, if you are pretty much interested, right, going in building an AI career, we highly recommend you to join our artificial intelligence certification course as at the expert level. It's a interactive live training scheduled on 11th and 12th March 2023. So in this particular course, it's a two-day course. You will definitely gain the in-demand skills, right? AI is one of the fastest growing field, correct? And there is high demand for professionals with AI expertise. So definitely this course will provide you with the skills and knowledge you need to succeed in the field. That's the first highlight. And I also would like to highlight that you are going to learn from the experts. So our complete course is taught by experienced AI professionals who are experts in the relevant fields. So you will definitely get valuable insights for sure. And also you'll get the real world examples that will help you in understanding how the AI is going to be used in the industry right now. Right. So moving ahead. Next, we have the second vertical, that is computer vision. So AI, if you use AI for computer vision, it's going to help the machines to grasp the visual information. So, right, you will use a camera to gather the information of the surroundings, and by using that surroundings plus AI capabilities, machine will be able to make certain decisions on its own, like how humans do. Where we see this application of CV, we can see the self-driving cars, facial recognition systems, and maybe the robotics and many other fields. Now, if you choose inside AI, you want to go towards the computer vision technology, then the following tools, which we are going to discuss next, are pretty much essential. The first one is Amazon Recognition. This is a cloud-based ML service. Normally, it is used for analyzing the images, videos, recognition of the faces, object detection, etc., can be done easily. So since it is a Amazon AWS based tool, it can also get integrated. You can integrate this with Amazon S3, Amazon Nitros, etc. Then similar support is available from the Google Cloud Vision API. So again, it's pretty much comparable with the other tools, other vendors as well, but it can do the video analysis, object identification, face recognition. Normally, it's a Google Cloud storage facility, so it can be also integrated with the data flow. Then the third important technology one has to know if they want to go towards computer vision under AI. It's Microsoft Azure Computer Vision. So the very specific feature of this is that it was originally built for OCRs, that is optical character recognition, the handwriting recognition, signature, whether you want to verify the signature, etc. For that purpose, it was originally built. But later, yes, right now you can use it for analysis of your pictures, objects, right, etc. So Azure storage is the basic tool where you are going to store your images and do the process. So the first three are something like the enterprise editions. If you want to do a research, right, it's not suggested to go with any of those. You can use the open source libraries. So one very famous open source library, which actually supports the coding in terms of Python as well as C++, is OpenC, right? It offers a lot of packages, a lot of functions, a lot of models that are specifically built for facial recognition systems, the optical flow in case of images, video analysis, etc. All right. Then actually Google has one enterprise edition. This is the open source edition called TensorFlow. The TensorFlow is a base, and on the TensorFlow they have various supportive tools. One such tool specifically built for computer vision is called as TensorFlow Object Detection API. So for this, we need to know the base tool TensorFlow. I'm going to discuss that in under a different vertical. But since this is specifically built for computer vision, we'll bring the TensorFlow Object Detection API over here. So it also supports us with a lot of pre-trained object detection models and the other tools, other functionalities, other built-in functions as well. Some of the advantage is that if you want to increase the training, if you want to reduce the training time, means you want to run your system faster, it actually supports faster RCNN, faster recurrent convolutional neural networks, plus the single shot detection algorithms. All right, SSD. There are many algorithms called SSD. You don't have to train for a longer duration. Single shot. So SSD, single shot detection algorithms, which are again built up by using the neural networks. That actually is supported by this. It's very handy. It comes very handy. A lot of. Then one more very interesting tool to learn and very important tool to learn is PyTorch. So this is also open source ML library. It helps us in identification of objects as well as the categorization of the object. That's a classification plus segmentation. I don't want the complete image to be processed. You want a part of the image and you want to teach how to find out a specific part of that image and segment it out, right? So that is possible. All right. Then the next one that we are going to see is called as the Detectron 2, right? So this is also pretty much similar. It's an open source, and this particular tool is built over PyTorch. So you need to know the PyTorch at the first level. Then you can see how the Detectron 2 can be used for building advanced computer vision applications. So after two different verticals, now we'll move to the third one. This is something like a tool which is very important to build any application, right? So this is deep learning, right? So it's actually advanced version of neural networks. Neural networks are very simple, right? You try to build neurons and you try to, using the neurons which are built, you try to classify or you try to do the regression. But now deep learning is actually the extended versions of neurons. Wherever simple neurons cannot work, you will try to extend, make the neural networks more deep by adding more layers. And because of that, you will get an additional capability of handling big data, large data sets, right? So there are something like some catches. You need to manage that. If you do that, yes, deep learning is going to work fantastic. All right. So applications we know, or any AI applications such as audio recognition, speech recognition, NLP, autonomous systems, the core is again deep learning. All right. Then the first tool that I highly recommend to know if you want to enter into any of the fields is any of the AI field is deep learning. And in the deep learning, I recommend TensorFlow 2. Right? It's an open source deep learning package coming from Google. So now in the current version, in the most recent versions of TensorFlow, what they have done is they have divided TensorFlow into two parts. The TensorFlow is the base, and above TensorFlow, they have another library called Keras. So that's my next suggestion. So you learn the TensorFlow first. It's very famous in the field of machine learning and deep learning. But some of the advanced features they are actually providing us under Keras. So these two all together work fantastic, right? They work fantastically for any of the tasks under the AI. Okay, if you don't want to go there, you can select MXNet from Amazon. It's again a open source deep learning library. It actually has a particular network. They call it as MXNet, right? So which is a scalable deep learning network. There is a pre-training already existing. You can actually use the existing models, or you can train your own models. Plus, the advantage here is that TensorFlow and Keras we normally use with Python only. But here it supports R as well as Scala in addition to Python. And one more very interesting tool to learn is a Caffe. Right. So this is a framework which actually works on pure deep learning networks. A lot of customization is possible, and you can build your own network. You can train, test, right, etc. Can be done easily using this app. But if you want to go to faster, if you want to increase the speed of your algorithm, if you want the machine to learn faster, definitely you have to use the GPUs, right? Graphical processing units. So to support that, you need those libraries which understand the GPU calculation. So one such library is called as NVIDIA CUDA. Right? It can actually operate, it can send the data to the GPUs and makes things faster. So the library is written such a way that it actually uses the GPUs present in the computing systems, laptops or computers or whatever computing hardware you have. It can use, if you have a GPU present, it can use it. It can build the model over there and makes things faster. So inside the NVIDIA CUDA, there is a specific deep neural network. The NVIDIA calls it as CUDN. Okay, so just remember this term. You can explore it later, just to understand the details of it. So faster computation is possible using NVIDIA CUDA. And one more tool which I highly recommend is ONNX, right? It's actually another open standard deep learning model. The advantage here is that the model you build here can be shared across various platforms, various frameworks, etc. Okay, even including the cloud storage. You can do a parallelization, etc. Then the next tool which I recommend is AutoML. This is very interesting tool to learn. You can give some of the parameters which you want to build for your model. You think, because by reference, by reading some of the standard publications, etc., we'll be having some knowledge about the model which I want to build. But I don't want to build everything from scratch. I just want to specify some parameters and I want the machine to build the model by itself. So that is possible. As the name suggests, it is the automated machine learning, auto ML. Though it says ML, it is capable of building the deep neural networks as well. Okay, so after three verticals, now we'll move ahead to the fourth vertical, that is under that's a part of the AI whole. It's called as a reinforcement learning. So reinforcement learning is something like you call the machine as an agent, and the agent is going to learn by itself. How? It's going to make some choices by interacting with its environment. So how does it work? I'll try to give a very simple example. Take a game, right? Maybe it's a board game. So assume that I'm an agent and I don't know how to play, right? I will gain some information by moving maybe it's a coin. I move a coin to one position, like chess. I may gain something in the sense if my step is right, I get some point. If my step is wrong, I get a penalty. So my objective is that not to get any penalty and gain more positive feedback from the environment, right? So this is how it works. That's a simple example which I can give you. So robotics, games, self-driving vehicles, etc., are basically employing the reinforcement learning itself. Under the AI, this is one field which is not completely evolved yet. Okay, so a lot of research is being there. There is a lot of scope in this particular field, right? So let's see if you want to go towards reinforcement learning in 2023, what are the technologies or what are the products that you can consider? Okay, so the first one I suggest is Open AI Gym. So it is used to develop the models, and it can compare with the other existing models, other versions of the same model, etc. So it actually there is a testing that is going to run on the background. Normally, this is used for testing of the control tasks, various board games, robotic simulations, etc. Right. So this is one tool. The second tool again is supported by the Google. It's a TensorFlow agent. Right. So we have TensorFlow as a base. On that, you have a next level that is a TensorFlow agent. So you can model, you can build the RL algorithms. It actually has some of the tools supporting them, and it can actually do some of the advanced testing, such as deep Q learning, policy gradient, actor critic approach, etc. So those are some of the advanced topics. It's you will be able to do that if you use TensorFlow agents. And then we have the Ray RL library. This is another distributed framework supporting the reinforcement learning. So advanced topics are available, advanced concepts are available here as well, right? So I suggest this. And the one more tool is a DeepMind. So the actual name is DeepMind Lab. We can build RL algorithm, do the testing, right? Even if you have a three-dimensional data set that exists, this actually supports that. So this is widely used in the concepts such as the navigation, solving the puzzles. If you want to teach the machine how to solve the puzzle and how to play strategic games, etc., right? We can see this. Then we have the Unity ML agent. All right, it's a toolkit which is normally used to test multiple algorithms in a single stretch. So these kind of algorithms are very widely needed for games, simulations, robotics, etc. And one more tool needed for reinforcement learning is OpenAI RoboSumo. So as a name suggests, it's a RoboSumo. It's a gaming environment. Like it's used to build a gaming environment, basically. So where you use it, it's like if you are building a game related to sumo wrestling, right? Capturing the flag, you have a strategy to build to capture that. Otherwise, the soccer game, etc. Right? This tool is quite used. Then there is a tool called as RL Kit, right? It's actually built upon the PyTorch. I know that already we have discussed PyTorch is a base tool required to understand the machine learning, deep learning concepts, and you build the RL over that. Okay, so it uses PyTorch, another advanced tool that is very widely used to create and test these RL algorithms. All right, so after that one, we'll move ahead to the fifth one. Actually, this is called as generative adversarial networks. So whenever I don't have sufficient data available, I might have to create the data set by using whatever data I have. For example, let's say I have only 100 images of cats and another 100 images of dogs, right? But I want to build a data science level project, which actually expects like 1 million images of each class, let's say. How do I create that? So I may have dogs standing, dogs sitting, dogs sleeping, some of the images, that's all. But using these GANs, right, you can try to generate n number of images that are pretty much similar to whatever you have, right? But statistically, they are different. In the sense, machine can identify the differences among whatever it creates, but human, we may not be able to differentiate. Okay, so if you want to create such images, you want to generate patterns, then these kind of networks are useful. Again, though the GAN is a part of deep learning, right? I try to move it out because the application is completely different. Specifically, for the GANs, we have few of the tools that are available and they are widely used. NVIDIA creates a library called StyleGAN. All right, this is one of the very famous tool that is used to create very high resolution photos with realistic details with respect to human eyes. Okay, maybe machine will be able to identify that may not be a real photo or something. Okay, so internally it actually has a generator and a discriminator, right? So both will help. In discriminator will say that whether the image created is fake or not, right? It tries to identify. So you keep on generating the image such a way that, right, the discriminator fails to identify that that's a fake one. So that's the concept running on the background. But anyway, I'm not going to touch that level. So you can definitely explore further. So the tool which is important here is NVIDIA StyleGAN. So then there is a tool called BigGAN developed by the Google's with the help of a Google support. And right, you can generate diverse pictures, very high resolution, right? It actually takes lesser amount of time compared to others. That's one point which I would like to add. Going ahead, we have a CycleGAN, right? CycleGAN is used to right, convert one type of image to other type of with very much similarity. Okay, so right, that's about CycleGAN. This is also pretty much useful. Then there is what is called as a progressive GAN, right? Again, internally you have two different modules present over there. Using the neural networks or something very similar, upgraded versions of neural network can be some other, maybe deep learning can also be used here. So it actually tries to generate various shapes of images, like by using the concepts under image processing called shrinking or growing, etc. So those are the terminologies which you need to understand first before you go to the progressive GAN. Then we have a star GAN, right? This is actually used to get an image and convert into multi-domain images, maybe the color into the grayscale domain, grayscale into any other domain, etc. Okay, so that's the usage of this. Only these terminologies are important for you for the time being, because anyway, we are not going in very much depth about any of this. Then NVIDIA actually does another GAN, which actually tries to produce the real images from graphs. You draw an image, right? You draw something, and GAN can try to create actual photo out of it, right? So wonderful. And one of the application of GAN I would like to highlight here is anomaly detection. So, right, if you give a set of images and you want to detect a anomaly out of it, yes, GANs can be used for that. Okay, that's one very interesting applications of GAN. Then we'll move to the next one, next vertical, that's autonomous system. Right, we already have discussed about this. Since time is less, I go a little bit faster over here. The first application, first product that we see is a self-driving car. Again, this autonomous systems are again not completely evolved right now. So there is a lot of scope to research, and in the production field also there is a lot of options available for us to explore. So self-driving cars, right? Autonomous mobile vehicle technology is behind this. So you may want to look at the Tesla. Obviously, this name we already have heard. Other names which I would like to highlight is Waymo and also the Cruise. So these are the companies which are actually developing autonomous vehicles, right, with the state-of-art technologies right now. Then the drones, also the UAVs. I'll try to club both of them together here. So drones are used nowadays for delivery, mapping, right, inspection, right. So, right, wherever humans cannot reach, you can use a drone for this. Also, UAVs are there, which may not be accessible for common people, but definitely they are used at a for definitely for mapping, surveillance, and rescue operations, etc. Can be done using UAVs as well. Right. Then the second one under the autonomous system is robots for manufacturing, healthcare, agriculture, right? Those are the fields. Plus self-driving robots are also doing, right? A lot of research is happening. Smart homes. So since we know the names, Amazon's, Alexa, Google's Home, etc., right? So they are the examples. Actually, this uses the language modeling, the speech recognition, NLP, text generation, etc. This actually includes those fields as well. It's something like a hybrid field. The application could be something like you can manage the lighting of your house, temperature controls, security, etc. Right, can be done at ease. Right. The next one, since already we have discussed about robot, right? The field will the field that's going to use this widely is industry. So industrial automation, right? And advantage is they are more accurate, more efficient than humans, obviously, because there is no concept called as tiredness for these machines, right? So, right, you can make them to work 24 hours. Next field is agriculture, right? We know that autonomous system, if you build for agricultural system, they can actually plant, they can harvest, they can irrigate, etc. Right? So you can reduce some labor cost here. So now there is a question that might come saying that if I use AI, will the jobs get reduced? Okay, so obviously we may have to think about it. Then I don't know whether you have heard about this or not. There is a upcoming field that's called as explainable AI, where so far whatever models we built with any of the technologies or the verticals we have been discussing so far, human understanding is not possible over there. Machine generates some numbers, which is a model. Machine generates some coefficient, that is a model. Machine generates a set of real rational numbers, etc. Right? That itself will be a model for identification of whether it is a cat or dog. I don't understand it. But if you want human understanding, then it falls under a separate category called explainable AI. It's in short, it is XAI. So whatever models that are getting generated over here, humans should be able to understand that. Maybe in the form of a text or something, right? Which humans can read and understand, something like that. It is required. Again, it is expected. I don't say that this is happening right now. This is the upcoming field. Maybe next 15 years you'll see explainable AI into market or something like that. Okay, so it is expected to enter into the finance field, healthcare, etc. All right. Now, again, research is going on. What are the tools that are available? I just would like to highlight it. So one is called as a line, right? So line it stands for local interpretable model explanation. So you see that model is built and there will be some explanation. So far it was something like a black box. Now, right, the output should be kept in such a way that the human should be able to understand what happens, how to make the prediction out of the model's learnings, etc. Even humans should be able to understand. That's the fundamental idea behind this. So it is expected to be implemented in the field of text categorization, picture recognition, etc., and the healthcare biology. Okay, then there is what is called as a SHAP, right? It's a Shapley additive explanation. Normally, we have built a model, right? Specifically, this is for machine learning part. As of now, it's not going into the deep learning part yet, but in future, yes, it is expected to go to that. So this SHAP is expected to be used in game theory, basically. Then anchors, it's another approach. Normally, when we have so far whatever models we discuss is obviously a black box. What we don't know what is there inside. Even if we see the coefficient, we don't understand, right? So it is expected that anchors will create something called as easy to understand type of explanation by using the Boolean logic. So we know what are Boolean logics, right? So even our complex processors works on simple high-low logic, correct? So various gates can be built using some of the basic gates. You can build very complex algorithms as well. So it's the same thing, but using that Boolean logic, anchor should be able to generate easy explanation like yes or no type of answers, right? Only those the parameters inside these anchors should be capable of providing the answers by using Boolean logic. All right, then we have counterfactual explanation, right? Again, this is not much explored as of now, but yes, right? You can remember this word and you can explore further. And gradient approach is also pretty much useful. Our machine learning algorithms, deep learning algorithms also use the gradient approach. So one of such approach is integrated gradients. We calculate the gradients, which is a difference, something like the difference, then you integrate it out. So people find that also is a very interesting approach to solve some of the problems over here. But how you use this to come to a conclusion about explanation is very interesting. You can explore that further here. And the last vertical which I'm going to highlight here is the edge AI. So edge concepts are something like bringing the algorithms and implementing the algorithms, deploying the algorithms on smaller devices, handheld devices, such as smartphones, any IoT systems, and maybe the smartwatch or something like that. So what's the advantage? It can be taken to any place. Real-time data can be put up. You can acquire using sensors, and you can take some decisions based on. So what are the tools that you need to consider? First one is TensorFlow Lite. So already we have seen TensorFlow under deep learning, right? Now it's a light version of the same, right? You will see that Google has developed TensorFlow. Google also has developed a TensorFlow Lite so that you can implement the functionalities of TensorFlow onto a handheld device. All right. Then we have OpenVINO. So this is also a very useful device. The advantage is that you can put this on GPUs, CPUs, FPGAs, field programmable gate arrays, which I don't think we have support by any other tool as of now. Then Google actually has developed another one. It's called as Edge TPU. TPU stands for Tensor Processing Units. Like CPU, which is common for almost every computing device. Specialized devices use GPU, graphical processing unit. Anyway, compared to CPU, GPU is faster. What if you want further increase in the speed, right? You have to go for a tensor processing unit. Okay, so if you want to put the algorithms on a TPU, tensor processing units, you need to have specific libraries for that, and it has to be specific hardware. You see, tensor processing cannot be done on a GPU. You have to have a specific hardware for that. Like that, you have a hardware called Google Coral Dev Board, right? So over there, if you want to develop some AI application, then it actually falls under the edge category because it's a small device. Our TensorFlow or any other things will not work there because they are working up to the GPU level. They can. So you need to have the TPU processing or library supporting the TPU. Programming also has to be done in the TPU level. So this tool is very useful. It's called as Edge TPU. Then we already had seen the ONNX already. Now this ONNX runtime is something like a light version of the same thing, which can be put up on embedded systems, smartphones, etc. Then NVIDIA also develops what you call as a light version of its tool. It's called as NVIDIA Jetson. So specifically developed for implementing the deep learning models on edge devices. Then Amazon SageMaker, which is actually one of the interesting tool to learn. Its light version is called as SageMaker Neo, right? We can use it to deploy the various models, MLDL models, on smartphones, cameras, or any other handheld devices. Okay, then we have one more high performance computing facility that's called as Coral Edge TPU. Again, it's a TPU processing TPU computing facility. So this technology can be imported and deployed onto Coral Dev Board. So you have an accelerator also available for the same. All right, so those are the verticals which I wanted to highlight. All these fields, if you want to go, what are the technologies one has to learn, one has to know, one has to excel? We already have discussed. Okay, coming to the next step, this is the last point which I want to discuss. What should be your approach to build a career path, right? And under any of these verticals we discussed so far. Normally, we want to start from very basic, a programming language, right? Normally, right now, since data science is booming, right? AI is considered as a small part of the big picture called the data science, right? So since that is in boom now, and it will be there for maybe, it is expected to be there for next 20 years, right? Because data sets we have now is so huge. So since it is there, right? And people prefer to use Python, R programming, or for some extent C++ or Java. So this is what are the tools which we expect. But Python and R programming are something like very important. Then the next level, I suggest you to learn the mathematics, basically. So normally mathematics deals with the statistics, probability, calculus, as well as linear algebra. So if you are good into these four concepts under mathematics, that's good. Once that is done, next part, what we suggest here is to go to the implementation of whatever you studied in mathematics. So for that, you need specific libraries. If you are using Python, you can go with the SciPy, etc. Right? Then you may have to learn few more additional topics, additional libraries specifically for data pre-processing, etc. I recommend NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, and you can go with the Seaborn, etc. Those are the tools, additional tools, which one has to do, because once the data comes to you and you want to build an AI application, it's not a straightforward way. You need to modify your data. How do you handle the data? Data handling is important. For that, maybe the Pandas will come in the picture. For EDA, exploratory data analysis, which is another part before you build your machine learning model or deep learning model, right? So EDA is important. For that, we have separate tools. So that's what will be the next step coming. So I'll try to highlight the importance of this slide. That's all. I will not go in detail. So once you do that, once you finish the learning of the library and implementing the mathematics, then we suggest you to go to the machine learning and deep learning, two important parts, right? So once you understand the various machine learning algorithms, neural networks, deep learning, convolutional neural network, etc., we suggest you to implement that, do some real project. Okay, so when you do the real project over there, right, you might have to learn some of the basic tools like TensorFlow, Cafe, Keras, right, PyTorch, OpenCV, etc. Depending upon what you are implementing, NLTK, Spacey, etc. What already has come in our previous slides. I highly recommend that you will study that as well. You will become an expert in that. Then at the end, you do a very good project. So just to show your skills that you have learned so far, right? You will be doing a project and publish your results. Okay, so this is the complete thing. So get a certification, right? That also we have mentioned here because certification is very important. So once everything is done, definitely, right? The doors will be open for you to enter into the AI path. So with that, we'll come to our important slide of our certification program. I already have mentioned about few of the characteristics, features of our course. The one more point which I would like to highlight now is the certification. Upon completion of the course, you will receive a certification that basically demonstrates your expertise in the field of AI. So this can help you to stand out to the employers and advance your career to the next level. In addition to that, you will also, during this course, you will be able to, you will get some networking opportunities as well. Okay, so this particular course is going to provide great opportunity to connect with other professionals in the field and build your network. That's definitely going to help you out. All right. And this is a 2-day format. You can see the dates are 11th and 12th of March. So our course is designed to be completed in only 2 days, right? Making it very convenient and efficient way to gain the AI expertise in 2 days, right? So you will be able to fit the course into maybe your busy schedule without taking too much of time away from the work or other obligations. All right, definitely at an affordable cost. So with that, we'll come to the end of the session. Thank you for your patience, and I look forward for your questions.
Yes, yes, Prashant. I have shared the questions of the viewers in the chat with you.
All right. Thank you. I'll check them. Okay. Okay. The first question says, what are the promising areas of AI that someone could focus? If you have seen, I already have covered that. Maybe NLP, speech recognition, then autonomous driving systems. The very initially I mentioned about the healthcare, right? So those are the promising fields. Okay. What are some of the common misconceptions about working in AI? Normally, the misconception could be people think that it's going to take out your jobs, right? But again, there are various other what you call points as well, views as well. Some fields maybe there is some of the jobs might get depreciated because of this, but AI is going to boost the job opportunities according to me. All right, so misconception could be that. Then the third question is that what advice do you have for someone who is just starting out and career in 2023? Yes, this is a good question. Like if you want to start your career, right, do the steps which we have mentioned so far in the just in the previous slide. I mentioned about what are the tools used to be studied, what are the steps you need to follow, right? The technologies basically, then the certification, obviously that's needed. So if you do this, definitely you have a promising career for sure. Then question number 4, how can someone build a network to find mentors in AI industry? Yes, our course, as I already mentioned, join the course. You have a networking opportunity. You get a lot of people from industry, a lot of people from various areas, maybe from universities. You get many university professors, etc. You get a lot of opportunity over there, right? So that's how you can build. Then another question: how can someone without a technical background get started with AI? So it's like even if you don't have a technical background, you need to acquire the prerequisites, something like a programming, right? Programming is a must have thing. So start with the programming, learn programming first, then go to the mathematics, learn the maths, implement the maths using coding, like that. Step by step, you can definitely go ahead and you can proceed with the AI, even if you don't have a technical background. Okay, then what are the area in banking field where we can apply these any use case? Yeah. So there is actually the prediction of risk. You want to invest something at a particular field, like say banking, financial sector. So one very important application of AI is the risk, right? Prediction of the risk, right? So that's one example which I can give for this question. Then can you give me a particular roadmap to become a space data scientist, and what do we need to do? So space scientist is actually an ultimate application. So that's the last step. So to begin that, to achieve that, you may have to start from the base level, where the same steps which we discussed earlier are going to come into picture. You learn the basics, you know the programming, mathematics, libraries, then machine learning, deep learning, then the data science comes into picture. Okay, so towards the end, you have data science, data engineering, plus the maybe the business analytics that may not be relevant to you, but still the data science stack has a component which is coming over there. And once you do that, then you know how to handle various types of data, collect the data from the space related. Maybe you get a lot of data sets related to space, and explore the problems what exist over there. And if you try to solve using AI over there, you are done. Okay. So I think I could answer all questions over there. Any other questions we have?
No, we are done with all the questions. Wonderful. Thank you, Prashant, for sharing your valuable insights and expertise with us today. I'm sure our audience has found your presentation very informative and engaging. And remember, guys, building a career in AI requires a hard work, dedication, and willingness to learn about and adapt AI. With the right mindset and approach, you can achieve your career goals and thrive in this exciting field. So, thank you so much, Prashant, for taking out the time. And thank you guys for joining us. And don't forget to check out our upcoming AI expert live training on 11th and 12th of March for more insights and expertise on AI. Thank you. Thank you so much, Prashant.
Thank you so much.